Hello, my name's Jasmine. I am one of the transfusion seniors and I would like to welcome you to another CPD talk. This is going to be a real quick talk. I'm basically going to talk you through how to record one of these, which is why you've got a beautiful view of my home desktop. So this is the program that I'm currently using. I'm using it because it's free and it's pretty easy to use. So if we have a look at the screen that I've got in front of me, you can see I've got a lot of information here. The program is called Bandicam. So the first one we're under is Home. So if I click on that and click on Get Started, which is where it will bring you when you first log in, you can see that I've got it on screen recording full screen. And it has a bit of information about how to set it up. If you have a look at these up here, it actually gives you other options. So you can have it so it records in a box and you can adjust how big that box is. You can have it so it just records around your mouse. You can have it so it's set up for recording games, and you can have it so it's recording through a device. I find it's just easier to record in full screen. I normally have my PowerPoint presentations up in slideshow mode. As I'm talking through them, it just makes it easier for me. The next bit along here is videos. So these are all the videos that I've recorded, including this one at the moment, which is the one that we are currently recording. So when you first log on to the system, before you start recording anything, you can do a test run and then you can stop it. It'll appear up here and you can see, double click it, and you can see what part of the screen it's recording, check that it's recording your voice, and just make sure it's all set up the way you want it to be. I would say it's very important to do this because I have ended up losing a whole presentation because it wasn't recording in the right part of the screen. The last bit is images. You're not going to use this, but basically you can use it to take screenshots, which there's not really any use for, in my opinion. To be honest, I only really use the home setting. You've got a bit where you can sort out where you want it to store your files, and if you've got scheduled recording or autocomplete. So there are a couple of other things down here. You have video settings, so you can set up hotkeys and stuff, but again, you don't really need to use them. The next thing you've got are up here. So if you have a look at this little blue thing, that's my voice. So this is how I know that my microphone is working. If it's not moving, then I know it can't hear me, in which case you need to go into your settings and sort out your microphone. You can do this by clicking on it and it will bring up all of this information, and it's basically the same as on all other programs on Windows where you just play around with it until it works. You've then got the option of adding your webcam. Obviously it's up to you whether or not that's something you want to do. Bandicam, if you have it as the free version, will only record for 10 minutes. So you can see at the moment we're on 3 odd minutes. That might skip depending on how I've edited the video. If you want to pause it, let's say you're at home and the doorbell goes, you can press the pause button. If you press stop, that stops the recording and that ends it. If you press that by accident, it's fine. You can cut and paste 2 clips together in editing, so don't worry about that too much. When it reaches the 10-minute mark, it does a little like ping sort of noise. So you should be able to recognize that it's done that. And then it comes up with a window saying, you can only record for 10 minutes using the free version. Do you want to purchase the full version? You can click no to this, start recording again, go back maybe a sentence from where you were talking from, and then we can again stitch those 2 bits of video together. So, for example, if I wanted to get up a PowerPoint to record, I can click over here. So I've got it here in the normal mode that you'd look at, and then if I do slideshow, this is what all of my other talks look like. It's basically just me going through the slideshow and talking it through. And then when you're done, you just come out of it, and again we can cut out the bit in the beginning and the bit in the end when you're coming in and out of that presentation. Once you've created a video, the harder bit is editing it, because firstly you have to listen to yourself talk and say stupid things, which is always fun, and secondly you've got I find anyway, there's a lot of cutting to do. So I just use my home laptop's video editor, which I think all version of it on. And when it opens up, you'll get a screen like this. So you can see I've got a lot of different badly spelt versions, and these are from talks that are already up on YouTube, I think, for all of these at the moment. This was a test one that I did before. So if you want to start a new one, you click new video project, and then you want to wait for it to load up. So the one I want to do is phenotyping, because I've just recorded that video. You'll see then it will allow you to add things. So depending on where you have set up Bandicam to save your files will depend on where you want to go to pick them up to put. So you can see here I've got a lot of different files. They will save in date order. So you can see this is the one that we're currently recording. I started recording it at 9:44. It's fine. The last video that I recorded, I had to record it in 3 parts because I have not recorded in a while, so I'm a bit out of practice and made a few mistakes. So you select all the files that you want to edit and you click open, and it will import them into here. Normally it will put them in the order they are recorded, which is of course the order you want. Drag them down onto your storyboard. So you can see, and this is how you will know that they are the right order. The first one will always be 10 full minutes because you have overrun, right? It's giving you that 10-minute limit, so it's turned you off at 10 minutes. If you're going to go into 3, then the last one will be the shortest one. So I can tell here it took a full 10 minutes. Here, apparently, I had 1 second left, and here I recorded for 45 seconds because I needed to do an outro. When you have a look at the screen, it will bring it up over here, and I can click play. I'm going to stop talking so you can listen to it. And you can see that it's basically just playing through. When it gets to the end of the 10 minutes, it will automatically move on to the next one. So basically, by putting these together up here and bringing them down here, you've already stitched them all together. Easiest bit to do. When it comes to you actually, so the first bit, obviously I don't want people to see me setting up. I mean, I can, but it doesn't look very nice. So if you click split, I do almost all of my editing in this screen. It's just easier. When I click play, I'm going to go to the bit where I want it to start. So I paused it here, it's 6 seconds in, and I'm going to click done. And you see down here I've now got 2, well, I've got 4 in total, but I've got an extra bit. One of them is the 6.13 seconds, and now I've got 9 minutes and 53 seconds. So this one is the one I don't want, so I'm going to select it and click delete. So now it will start, and it may be a bit, it depends on your laptop, mine's a bit slow, and it will start immediately from there. And that's basically how you edit the whole thing. So you'll be on this split bit. When you get to another, say I say a sentence that doesn't make any sense, I will split it and I will delete the bit. So I can pause it here just before that pause, click done. Then I want to start from, instead of deleting that, obviously that bit was fine, go back into this, I click split, I can click play, and again it might take a while to load. And then, so it was not a very long pause, but obviously when you listen to it back, especially when it's your own voice talking, it can get irritating. To be honest, I used to cut out all these pauses. I don't do it so much anymore because it takes too long. So it's up to you how finicky you want to be with your creation. But I can then click done. And what I would do is I'd just play from this one and just check I've got the word red blood cells. I haven't managed to accidentally cut out like root, and then I'm just saying red blood cells. And then if you click on this, then you can click delete. Say I've deleted something I didn't want to, you can use the Control Z function and it will undo and bring it back. So if you do delete something, don't worry too much about it, you can bring it back. When it comes to the end, so this is obviously me doing an outro, I like to put on a bit of music at the end and I like it to fade out. So if I go into split, I just want to, let's get to the end bit. So I want to cut out the bit that I don't. So if you, so there. Yeah, so I can delete that because obviously I don't want that in there. And then if I wanted to, I can click custom audio, go into wherever the audio is, right? So this is the audio I have. It can be difficult to adjust it because it doesn't like to have a play around with it. If you click the volume here, you can do a fade in, fade out. You can reduce the volume so it's not going to be too loud over what you're talking about. Then if you click play, again, it's going to take a little while to load because you've been messing with it. So you can see that's quite loud still. And it's also started sooner than I want it to because I'm still talking about the patient's case study. So I want to move it a bit further away. And again, I can reduce it, but when you do that, it's going to have to reload. And then when I'm done, I'll click done. And then I've got that sound outro. Normally I would do it in order and I'd do the sound bit at the end. But it's just so that you're aware. Also, if you have anything where you want some text and effects, you've got all these different things to play with. You can use the trim bit to trim things out, but I have found that it's more difficult to do than doing the split function. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like once it's done with the editing. So you can see I've got a lot more panels down here because I've done a lot of editing and chopping and changing. And it's a bit shorter now. It's only a few minutes, but you have to think each time you're only cutting a couple of seconds out. So it's never going to add up to a huge chunk unless you've literally had to cut out more of the video than you've recorded. Once you've done, if you click finish video and you can select which quality, I would recommend the highest quality. Then you click export, choose where you want to store it. So I've got a separate folder called CPD, and obviously it's going to take the name that you've given your project, and then you can click export. And you just need to make sure that you keep an eye on your computer while it's doing this because it can stop and then you have to do it all over again. And then you can upload it to the YouTube channel. That's pretty much it. It's not actually as difficult as it seems to create these videos. It just takes a while and it takes the practice to be comfortable with it. Hopefully this has been of some help to anyone who wanted to create videos. Obviously, anyone who wants to do a CPD talk for the transfusion channel, I would be very grateful for. And if you are struggling with the editing side of things, again, I'm more than happy to help out with that because I think, honestly, it's the more tedious and difficult thing to do. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope this has been interesting and useful to everyone, and I look forward to the next time. I'll see you guys later. Bye!